Canada's consular officials are still trying to piece together the fatal shooting of a Canadian citizen in Israel. Israeli police say the Canadian citizen was killed after threatening local security officials with a knife near the border with the Gaza Strip. A video with no sound shows security officials pointing guns at a vehicle from which a man exits, runs briefly, and falls to the ground. Unconfirmed reports have named the man, while some claim he is an American citizen. But this morning, a spokesperson for Israel's prime minister confirmed the individual was a Canadian and that he entered Israel on a tourist visa.
My understanding is that he did come into the country on a tourist visa. As for interactions with the government in Ottawa, I'm sure they have happened, but I don't have any details to share with you right now.
And Bryan Passifume from the National Post joined us earlier to explain his reporting on the incident.
There's still a lot of questions to be answered. Like, there's a few things that we know for sure. We definitely know who it is. We know that he is a Canadian citizen with a Canadian passport. We know that he did arrive in Israel the day before the trip as a tourist, rented a car and drove to the town where the attack was committed. As to more sort of in the weeds information, like who he is, where he was from, there's been a lot of theories floated around. The internet sleuths are hard at work trying to figure things out, and until we get it completely nailed down, it's going to be pretty difficult to sort of separate the truth from sort of the disinformation and sort of have whatever's that the people online love to dig up. But that's pretty much all we know for now. We do know he is definitely is a Canadian, and he before he was killed with the knife, he was shouting demands for Palestine to be freed. Well, I think that's kind of the biggest concern about this. Obviously, terror around the world is always an issue, but really, it's there's been a lot of I guess I would say criticism over officials in Canada, politicians, the police, and how they're permitting a lot of really hateful rhetoric and really anti-Semitic tones to take hold of a lot of these protests. Protesting in Canada is an enshrined right that we have, but at the same time, when you openly advocate the erasure of the only Jewish state in the Middle East, using dog whistles, like calling them Zionists when really we know they're just talking about Jews. That really turns into a real incubator for radicalism, and this is something that a lot of observers have been warning about. Yesterday, I spoke to Ida Moed, the Israel's ambassador to Canada, and yeah, he said it should be a wake up call for the international community that it seems like it's the easy way out just to let people spread their hate without risking confrontations with the police. But at the same time, this is the fruit that we grow. Well, you look at a lot of other countries in the world, like for example, a lot of European countries have really kind of nipped this in the bud. They've challenged a lot of these anti-Semitic themes, signs, slogans that these anti-Israel protesters are spouting. They're putting a stop to it. There's a viral video I saw this morning of an American woman who went to Sweden wearing a keffah, and she had a bullhorn, free Palestine, and a big a van load of police arrived and whisked her away because it seems that that kind of thing is acceptable in Canada. It seems that Canada is turning a blind eye, where a lot of the other countries, particularly in Europe, who have real tangible generational experiences with extremism, they see it for what it is, and they're not afraid to nip it in the bud. And I think that's what people are telling Canada, that their chickens are coming home to roost when it comes to their inability or their unwillingness to combat extremism.